am the Knight. I am Batman!
Hello, citizens of Gotham. And welcome to the very first episode of the Batman the Animated Series podcast, a new show we're trying on the channel here, where we're going to be reviewing, we're going back to the 90s and reviewing every episode of the Batman the Animated Series, a show that we all like and love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. We'll be breaking it down and all that stuff, but I need to introduce my hosts. I am Johnny. If you don't know, if you're a fan of the All in Nerds channel, you know us already, but people who don't, I'm Johnny, and I'm joined with Levi, as well as Gibbs.
Also known as Ben.
On?
If we call him
Also known as
it's
Ben.
Yeah, but it's Gibbs, though.
It's Gibbs, though.
It's Gibbs.
Come on now. So this is our very first episode, and we will be reviewing On Leather Wings. We are going to be following the DVD
order, yes.
order.
After much deliberation, we
There's
on the official
we
list.
talked about it for like an hour.
Yeah, which
we were like, what are we gonna do? What order? Because there's a big debate in the order that that this should go. But DCAU has a whole thing.
So if you want to go ahead and rewatch with us, which I highly recommend,
yes,
that'll make for the best viewing experience of the podcast. Absolutely. We will be going by DVD order, which starts with On Leather Wings.
Yeah. Technically, it is the DCAU canon order too, but to be better known as.
And just to be clear, I have actually not seen the show. Not really, anyway. Like I've seen bits and pieces a long time ago. But these guys are much bigger fans. You are like super fan.
Yeah, I've been known.
You've been known to watch it from here or there.
I've been known to watch it. Yeah, I've grown up with the show. Like, this is one of my favorite shows, like, of all time. I mean, it's definitely like one of my favorite anime shows. It's probably one of my favorite shows of all time. I'll say for the sake of the podcast. And I've probably rewatched like between the kind of 3 seasons that it's kind of separated in, which is the Batman animated series, and then the Adventures of Batman and Robin, and then the new animated series. I probably watched it over like 4 or 5 times, I want to say. So that's a lot. I know the show quite well. But then Gibbs, you're kind of in the middle.
I'm the medium fan.
Yeah, you're in the medium.
I've seen most of the show all the way through. Probably missed an episode here and there in between. Yeah. As it is an anthology series.
Yes.
So we sort of got the perfect dynamic going in here. We got the super fan, we got the casual fan, we got the newbie.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so, I mean, I forget where I left off, but essentially, we're going to be reviewing each episode. We're going to be giving a little bit of info, like, so the cast and crew on each episode.
And production, fun facts. Our thoughts on the episode.
We'll be running through the episode, just talking about it a bit. Got a slew of fun facts, which I can't wait to talk about, because there's some really cool ones. This is a show that has like a lot, so the production stuff is really cool. So yeah, I mean that's the gist of the show. We'll see how it goes. I mean, but anyways,
without further ado,
should we get into it?
We should touch quickly, I think, on Kevin Conroy and his very unfortunate passing last month.
Yeah, that's super important. Which we originally were going to do this a little while ago. We got really busy. If you know the All the Nerds, we get a little busy because we're all college students. But Kevin's passing be like devastating. It kind of like inspired us to do the show again. So
he is the voice. Here we are. Batman.
He is the GOAT, the voice of Batman. All right, rest in peace. That's one of the celebrity deaths that probably hit me the most, if not the most. Very, very sad. Very sad. But on a more brighter note, we're gonna talk about the episode. So so I will let me pull up my notes here. But what's up, Levi?
It was just first thoughts going in. I think this is one of the episodes that I did see.
Yeah, first thoughts. Let's do a little first thoughts.
Because I was familiar with Kirk Langstrom from
Arkham
from Arkham Knight. I am a Batman fan. I love the Nolan movies. I love. I like the Batman. I've seen obviously the 80s films and the 90s films, but the animated stuff has always been sort of a blind spot for me. I watched the one on Cartoon Network that was the not Beyond.
The Batman?
No, it's called
Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
And so
also a good show.
So I've seen that. Obviously, Mark Hamill's Joker is hugely influential just on pop culture as a whole. But this is my
Arkham
first time really digging into it, and hot damn, like the Art Deco style, I didn't realize how hard they went with that the whole time.
pretty
Like
good.
the intro, I mean, I'm just gonna throw it up real quick, but like this
Yeah.
intro, like, oh my god,
And they
They
just
get-
get better
so-
and better.
Love that, like-
something about the show that I mean,
that's crazy. The
you
art
know,
style
if you,
is mwah.
it's they've taken the Art Deco style and each episode has its own title card and they're really really cool the way
Well,
they presented
And
the
I just
episode.
want to point out, you keep talking about the Art Deco. I think actually some people call it Dark Deco. Is sort of
Dark
like
Deco.
an entire new genre, sort of
Yeah.
invented
For
by
Batman.
this. For Batman, a little bit. I know that fans of the
Little
Batman
bit.
series call it Dark Deco. I'm not sure if that's been used for other
I
things. before.
believe, and I should do further research on this. I believe it's because they draw on black. They do it over
Yeah.
black. They draw on black.
I've heard
okay.
Dark Deco thrown
I'm pretty positive.
around a lot
Pretty
for
positive.
this.
I gotta
so.
make sure about that.
But
Well,
absolutely
also-
just looks amazing. So
Yeah.
Because when
It
is
looks
the
amazing.
show? When is the show coming out? When does this come out? Like early 90s?
Oh yeah, actually, the air date of this episode
Yeah,
was
give me an air date.
was
because-
September 6, 1992.
1992. So this totally, because yes, it is. Like when I watched this, when I saw the Batcave, like if we're talking about favorite visuals, seeing inside the Batcave and like what everything looks like, that was like number
This
one.
this is the establishing episode.
Yeah, I went,
Even
oh
though
my
it's-
god, like I feel like I built a Lego set of this, or this is the Batman I wanted to see.
Yeah.
But it totally does capture the vibe of like Burton and Schumacher's live action Batmans kind of combined a little bit, because
Very
obviously
much so.
people, much maligned Schumacher's movies, but his Gotham feels very like, it feels like the dark
Gothic, yeah,
deco,
yeah.
the Gothic, the Gothic look, and this has that same vibe, and it just ooh,
This
it
this
hits.
show has taken like all the best elements from like the best versions of like throughout Batman media and has like applied it into one like
Yeah,
magnum
and-
opus kind of
and
situation.
upon making it, they really wanted to sort of establish this timeless feel
Mhm.
for it, so
Yeah.
that it could be taking place in the 50s or it could be in the 2050s,
Mm.
and you don't really know.
Because you'll notice that like the cops like
Yeah,
they're
the
like
designs.
yeah, it's interesting.
It is
And they
Yeah,
have
and
they have
you-
they have
you got
laser guns.
The police zeppelins and the blimps are an
Mhm.
absolute
And
favorite of
weapons and
mine.
the blimps, yeah.
It's so great. Once again, I'm gonna bring up Arkham Knight. I think we'll probably talk about the Arkham games a lot.
They-
in this
yeah, I mean,
podcast, 'cause there's
same-
a
same
lot of
creative team.
crossover.
Same
Same
creative
creative
team.
team. Obviously,
Same-
Kevin
same-
Conroy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Same creative team. Oh wow.
Same.
Okay.
But the blimps showing up in Arkham Knight, just love that because
Yeah, it was good.
they're heavy into the
It was good.
airships.
So, guys, we will be we want to talk about a little bit about the cast and crew, the people behind this episode. So the show was obviously created by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini originally, the Goats, and they are two people who made their way over to the Arkham games. I know we were just talking about that. And this episode, like I said, came out September 6, 1992, and this is the second episode of the show to air. The first one being The Cat and the Claw, Part 1, which is another episode we get to, and I forget honestly where it is in the timeline. It's very weird, but anyways. So it stars Kevin Conroy as Batman and Bruce Wayne, and and an uncredited role. Clive Revel as Alfred, and this is his. So he's only in 3 episodes, and this is his first, obviously. Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon, Richard Mole as Harvey Dent, and the eventual Two-Face. Robert Costanzo as Harvey Bullock.
Spoiler.
I know. And this episode is obviously guest starring Mark Singer as Kirk Langstrom, aka the Man Bat, and Meredith McRae as Francie Langstrom.
Give us the plot description. What happens?
Directed by Kevin Altieri, who
Okay.
did a lot of the episodes for this show. Is definitely one of the goats and a long stay in the show. And it was written by Mitch Bryan and animated by Spectrum Animation Studio.
Goats.
Goats.
Good job, Spectrum.
Good
A
job.
bunch of legends.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, so the basic like tagline for this episode is a mysterious creature is mistaken for Batman, and the police send a task force after the Dark Knight. So pretty straightforward. And that's kind of what honestly the first scene. If you want to just jump right into it.
I'd like to. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so that's basically the first scene as we start in the blimp, one of the blimps. And so the two people in the blimps, one is Kevin. One is voiced by Kevin. and the other is voiced by I believe it's Clive. Yeah, it's Clive. It's Alfred. So it's Alfred and Batman are in the blimp. In the blimp together, and they're the first voices that we hear in the episode.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I know we just watched it, but so yeah, I mean, what do we think about that scene? If you guys want to further recap it, it's the first introduction of Man-Bat, the way it's shot, like he's just kind of obscured a lot. He like kind of flies to the.
Well, that's the thing. There's a little bit.
Past the
They
frame
kind
and
of
whatnot.
subvert your expectations there because obviously they start talking about a bat creature. You're thinking it's Batman, which is sort of the whole theme of this episode. Is you see Batman get framed later down the line, because Man-Bat and a Batman, pretty similar. So
Pretty similar.
So you're
Frank
sort of,
just switch the.
It's the Frank Reynolds distinction you're doing here. But yeah,
so you're sort of in the shoes of those
those pilots there.
Zeppelin operators, and yeah, it's a great moment when you first see the bat, and then just that initial shot of you see the silhouette of the creature like going up against the
building.
windows of Gotham, just is like such an amazing like animation, and the way it just keeps going until the camera just settles on Phoenix Pharmaceuticals, just absolutely outstanding work.
The Zeppelin coming through the clouds too.
Yeah, that's great too.
I particularly like that shot.
Yeah, the show has a plethora of like amazing shots. So it's definitely something that carries over throughout the episodes. And then really we get I think this is another uncredited role. It's so actually the security guard we see in the pharmaceutical building is voiced by Richard Mole, who played Harvey Dent. So that's another.
Yeah, that guy's a real goat. He's talking like he's trying to like get into like radio broadcast.
Yeah, you get the radio voice. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Funny. It's good stuff.
And then Man-Bat attacks him, but he has a recorder with him that records the bat scream. So
It's obviously utilized later. You know?
Yes, which is
a
genius little
old fart doctor's lying to Bruce. Trying to say it's Starlings, not man.
Yeah.
In a way. The way, the comment about how it's timeless, because it really does. It simultaneously feels like this came out 70 years ago, but also it still feels like it holds up to a lot of modern. I don't want to say children's animation, but like in the 22-minute category where you have to tell a simplistic, 1, 2, 3 story, it holds up to anything that would come out today in terms of its narrative clarity, structure, and just entertainment value, raw entertainment value. And it's really impressive.
I would even argue that it surpasses some of the modern day stuff in terms of I think there's a lot of artistic integrity throughout this entire show.
Absolutely, yeah.
Purely just in the way that it's animated and just the whole like art style of the whole thing just seems like it's a cut above the average children's program. Which it is at its core. But
was this marketed as a children's broadcast?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. It's it's a Batman animated. It's probably I don't know what it used to play on TV. But
Fox Kids.
Fox Kids. There you
Fox
go.
Kids.
But obviously, you can enjoy it if you're older, as we all sit here as adults enjoying this animated TV show.
That's true.
And I don't know
is a
if
very
you can
timeless show.
do that for every single, new. Even some of the new Batman animated shows are definitely a lot more.
There's a reason why the show is beloved. Many reasons. So,
I instantly felt we're big Star Wars fans on the channel, and the similarities to something like Clone Wars, where yes, it's marketed as a kid's show. I said Tim show. It is Tim show.
Yeah, or even Rebels.
The Bruce Tim show.
Bruce Tim, yeah. But where it just feels you said it already, but that timeless feel where it's not. It's the George Lucas philosophy of where a good story, 12-year-olds can understand it, but anybody it's made for 12-year-olds, but someone of any age could take enjoyment from this. And
absolutely,
this is really impressed. It's only one episode in. I'm only one episode in. I'm always like, oh my god, there's 100 more of these and a couple of movies.
Yeah. Oh, there's some good stuff.
I actually don't know how many episodes there are.
You mentioned spoilers about Harvey
100.
Dent, man. Ooh, those Two-Face episodes are so amazing.
Two-Face arc is amazing.
Yeah, one of my favorite shots of the episode, if we want to jump into favorite
just
shots,
coming up soon, I think. Actually,
is the way that the coin flip was framed. And I was like, oh yeah, that's Harvey Dent. Right?
That's Harvey Dent, baby.
Absolutely. Sweet.
Yes.
Always
so
some
this
great
is
foreshadowing.
So is Commissioner Gordon? Am I meant to understand that he's covering for Batman, right? Like he's pretending to be like
they already have a pre-established relationship. They're tight like this throughout the show.
Understood.
Sure. Yeah.
I think they get tighter though.
They get
I think
tighter.
their relationship. This is probably an earlier Batman.
He always defends him, though.
Yeah, but
Commissioner Gordon is on Batman's side throughout.
we didn't actually get to see them meet up at any point in this episode, which we will definitely see that down the line in classic
there's
Commissioner
a lot of good
Gordon
moments between
Batman.
them. Yeah.
We'll get to that. It's only the first episode.
It's true. It's true. But then the next scene, which is like I think spoilers. I think it is my favorite scene of the episode. Very Batman Year One esque, Frank Miller style. It's I mean, quick recap is a story. Obviously, Year One of Batman, but there's this great scene where, Batman is like trapped in this warehouse, and the police the SWAT team infiltrates it, and Batman has to weave his way through.
I saw that in BVS.
Yeah, something similar, I guess. Yeah, but
Yeah, except Batman isn't killing anyone in this,
Batman.
in this
Yes,
sequence.
that's the big difference. That's a big difference. But yeah, no. So I mean, that scene where he's obviously.
I was a joke
investigating.
viewer. It was a joke.
But I love that scene.
This is our first big Batman. We get to see him in action over the first
Yeah,
time
this
in
is
the series.
First, yeah.
So we see some smoke bombs utilized. I love when he throws the smoke bomb at the security guard, and she
Mhm.
she does a big snitch,
Yeah.
it's like oh yeah, and she just
There
goes
she
down.
goes.
which
I liked
is
how her
great.
book said P.S. Your dog is gone. It was some joke. It was a funny joke that I read. I love the way he walks through the police tape too. Just absolutely tramples through it. There's a lot of later on my favorite part of this whole sequence is how he saves the one guard or the one SWAT guy.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
special
he
forces
still
guy.
saves him. That's
He
one of
still
the best.
saves him. That's a Batman moment right there. He saves him and
Batman
then
moment.
he just keeps going.
Yeah,
I
It's
love
like-
the way
like
I love
Batman.
the way explosions look in this show and the sound effects that it has. It's so good.
Or even the end, the way he just takes Kirk back to his family, back to the other doctors.
Spoilers.
Batman is a good guy.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
There's not much any.
Kidding.
He's not a very complicated
We can
character
jump
in
around
the
if we want
sense, so
to.
he's not too morally ambiguous.
Well,
Yeah.
in more modern Batman incarnations, we've been living in the last 10 years, very complicated Batman. depictions.
Absolutely, and
Very.
certainly Bruce Wayne has his demons in this show, but he always does the right thing,
Which is
which we
how,
like.
in my opinion, how Batman should be.
And speaking of-
This show has the perfect Batman.
Speaking of Bruce Wayne, the Alfred jokes, you gotta have a good Alfred with your Bruce Wayne.
That's right.
made me audibly laugh twice. I was not expecting the whole rock and roll.
Alfred's funny.
Batman was funny.
Alfred is sassy throughout the show. That's something that definitely continues. He's got some good lines.
Very good
and,
jokes.
Yeah, although it's with a different voice a little later, which I'm more used to.
Well, I'm curious as to your guys' favorite shots and favorite moments.
Favorite moment.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
Dave?
cheating by dropping a whole sequence, but just the initial Batmobile sort of driving out of the Batcave for
Batmobile
the first
is
time,
sweet.
and that I mean that's the establishing Batmobile stuff.
Batmobile, bro. I want a
Batmobile.
Bat-
And it's
Bat-
just I just love the drawbridge coming out of the mountain.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just
And then
The Batcave.
Gotham and the horizon as he
Mhm.
speeds towards the city, and just such
The
an amazing
cityscape.
moment. And then
This is probably my favorite Batcave.
the score is just going crazy. So
Yeah.
This is the only episode, fun fact, that has the Elfman theme in it. This episode
Yeah,
doesn't
I
have
got
the Danny
hyped.
Elfman theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave it. Yeah,
we
leave it.
got hyped, and then he was a little disappointed. But
Because we said
I
that
think we assured him that the music going
music,
forward
yeah, I
is
trust.
absolutely
music
amazing.
by Shirley Walker, the goat.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
It's just incredible.
She carries. Don't worry.
Okay.
She
Okay.
carries.
Yeah, so that's definitely my favorite moment. But I want to hear Johnny's now.
Yeah, no, another one of my favorites. But definitely that Batman Year One type scene where he's in the pharmaceuticals and the police come in. I love that scene. But another one, and this one when I watched it as a kid, scared mess you up.
Scary.
Man-Bat's transformation. I mean, there's now it's obvious, but I think at the time, for '90s kids, the twist of Kirk it's a twist. It is a
Yeah.
little bit of a twist. The way it plays in the episode. But scary stuff. Like the shots are just complete noir horror shots, and this is kind of how I
They
feel like
show
the
it,
whole,
too.
the whole episode. Yeah, the whole episode is shot. But damn man, that transformation is intense, and I love the Man-Bat screech. It's so good, so good.
And just the way that the
yeah.
like his voice gets lower as he is talking, and he's like, "It's
Shot of his
inside of
teeth.
me."
It's evil.
There's shot of his teeth as they start to change. It's so
Yeah,
good.
it's great sound design. It's a good moment.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys hit me with some fun facts about this episode?
I gave you fun facts. Come on now.
Oh, we have a fun fact or two.
We got a few. So first off, actually, this is one that I found. And it's very funny because this ties, because we mentioned Star Wars. So Clive, who played Alfred in this episode, originally voiced Palpatine in Empire Strikes Back, the original Palpatine, not obviously
The weird,
but the weird
looking Palpatine.
monkey, the
It's
weird
a woman.
monkey Palpatine.
It's a woman in monkey mask. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't talk
So-
about that Palpatine unless we're
No.
talking about Clive.
Right. Clive the Goat.
That's funny. There you go.
Yeah, no, pretty interesting. I obviously never knew that before looking it up here. But so like I said, yeah, this was the first episode. This is the second episode aired of the show. First being Cat in the Claw, and I mean it's a funny line, and I always like bringing it up. But when Batman's in the Batcave, and the doctor calls for the results back on the Bat Scream. I love how Kevin changes his voice like back to Bruce, like while he's in the Batman costume, and he does that a few times. The show it's very funny, and it is like it's very contrast, like the way Kevin
I
does
think the
Batman,
implication too
Kevin
is
does
that,
Bruce.
which is another interesting modern observation about Batman insight, is how that Batman is the real Bruce Wayne, and that Bruce Wayne is the mask, and so you see him with the suit on. He's actually more natural in the suit, and he's the voice he's putting on is the lighter tone, like, "Hey Doc," that's the fake one. I do. I always love that.
Yeah, he says, "What's up, dog?" Obviously,
Yeah, what's up,
Bugs
dog?
Bunny line, Looney Tunes. Shout out to that.
Yeah, shout out Looney
Shout out
Tunes.
Looney
Shout out-
Tunes.
Shout out Looney
Yeah.
They
Tunes.
need it.
It's just great voice work by Kevin, really,
Yes.
is what it is.
Yes.
But it's a funny scene too. We talked about there being some good laughs in this episode, and that's definitely one of them. Seeing him in the bat suit doing like a chummy ass voice. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I have a lot of notes about it connecting to Justice League Unlimited, like another show in the DCAU, the like branch of DCAU. So apparently, the shot where Man-Bat's flying through Gotham is reversed and is in the episode epilogue, which is the very last episode, and it also has Batman Beyond in it. It's very confusing, but they reuse that shot apparently and reverse it, which I think is pretty interesting.
So
and,
fun. What a fun fact.
a lot of fun facts. And this is actually there's an error in this episode. If you I did not catch it. I didn't even know about it until I read about it. I assume you guys didn't
0 out
see
of
it.
10.
0 out of 10.
What's the error?
In the robbery report on the back computer, the Carson Chemicals burglary. I can't remember
Burglary.
that word, but yeah, is misspelled. It's spelled
The word burglar?
Buaglary.
Buaglary. Well, you messed it up, but they thought it was hard too, so that's not so bad.
Well,
It's a hard word.
That
Come
computer
on.
doesn't have
Computer.
spell check.
That's true.
Come on, guys.
But yeah, and then also this is one of the first episodes to feature Batman bleeding, which is something that, like, obviously at the time for I mean even kid shows now is very hard to get like the rating for that for being on a kids. You can't show blood is one of the rules usually, and especially in the 90s that was one of the rules. This show got away with a lot of censorship stuff, but this is an episode that features that. Which is pretty interesting. Again, there's a lot of canonical connections to just the other shows in the DCAU.
I haven't seen
but,
it, so
but ones we haven't
Neither
seen.
have
So,
I.
yeah, don't.
yeah,
it don't
which
matter.
is fine. There also is one more. I've actually there is a Tim Burton line that I think is referenced when Dr. March says he says they're survivors in the context to bats, in Tim Burton's Batman, in the Keaton Batman, he says that he also says the bats are survivors. He's like that's like so they're survivors in context to bats. This is said both in Tim Burton's Batman and then also this episode.
There you go.
Apparently as a reference. At least
loose.
what I've been reading. It's a
Yeah, a
little
little
loose.
loose.
It's a little
I don't
loose.
know about that one.
It's a little loose. But that is one that's said. And I mean those are really big ones. To be honest. But I mean yeah,
I would only want you to be
mentioned
honest.
I
Go
mentioned
on.
I know I mentioned the uncredited voices, which so Kevin and
Yep, I got
and
it.
Clever and the blimp and then yeah so but yeah that's really it for the fun facts, but there's definitely a lot more to get into as the show continues. I mean again,
Well, how
this
do
is
we?
like the first episode, also the first episode to be produced. This is the first episode that they made. Another thing too.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
There
Well,
you
how we were doing giving this thing a rating? Do we put it on a tier
We
list?
can do a
What
little
we
rating. We can do a
What
little
we
rating.
What
Well, I
do?
do have a
I
tier
think we have a
list.
tier list
I
ready
do
to
got a little
go.
tier list maybe.
Oh my God, really?
You can
Okay.
Because
show it.
obviously we are going to be building up as the series
show
goes
goes
on.
on.
Yeah.
And honestly,
I'll-
I just want to put that out there is that there are about, how many episodes of the show? Over 100.
100.
over
Yeah.
100, yeah.
Over 100.
I
And
actually have to look it up.
This
I'll
is
look it
probably
up.
like in my top 10.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that a bit.
Like
yeah,
it starts with an absolute banger. So
I wouldn't know.
mean, I won't say
yeah, but Levi has
until the
nothing
tier
to
list is up, but I know
nothing
where
to
I know where
compare it
I'm
to.
putting it, and I think me and Johnny are gonna have a hard time throughout this show. I think
To-
we're gonna want to put everything up in S tier,
It's tough.
but
tough.
I
The
think
show-
we're
the
gonna
show
try
has
to
consistent-
judge it,
Good episodes.
in relation to itself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
Even
we
though-
have to.
even
to
though
be
a
hard.
lower like C episode, we probably
This is
love it.
all like upper echelon of TV.
That being said, though,
yeah.
this is definitely an upper.
Well, let's see it. Let's see a list. Let's see a
upper
ranking.
tier. I know.
So I will say though the original Batman the Animated Series is 85 episodes.
85.
Let me pull this up here. I'll screen share in a second. 1 second. But yeah, so we're gonna do this as we continue. We'll kind of put a tier list and we'll build as we continue with each episode. Let me pull this up now. Do you guys want to put it on the screen?
Sure, do it.
You got it?
Yeah, it's up
Yeah,
there.
it's up there.
That's up there. Okay, beautiful. So yeah, this is our tier list. This is the title cards of each
Oh, yeah.
episode here.
Oh, they're all
getting-
different like
I
that.
know,
Oh
I'd
my
say
God!
Levi's-
Look at
Look
that.
Levi's
at that.
getting a little
I don't. I know. A little
sneak
sneak
peek.
peek. I
Oh.
don't want you to see them all.
Oh,
But I
those
do
are
have.
so
I do have
awesome.
to.
They are.
I do have
They
to get
really
down all the
are.
rings. And
Oh, it's like
here's all my
total
rings.
like Bioshock vibes.
Not okay. We're not putting an F, but
Obviously, which is the same.
So
architecture
guys,
style,
where do
I
we?
guess.
So for me, yeah, I guess let's. I mean, Ben, I know you just talked about your rating. Levi, did you?
To me, this is an A. I mean, this is really
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah,
but
I mean, this is tough because he doesn't have.
it's
The,
tough because
Yeah,
I don't have
nothing to
a good
compare it
reference.
to.
But I also just have never been totally attached to the Man Bat. Like, it doesn't interest me as much as some of the other
Sure.
stuff. Like Two-Face, Penguin, Joker, Mr. Freeze. All those kind of villains interest me more.
If so, I advise being a little more harder on this episode because, like we said, it's gonna be hard to rank everything. 'Cause they're all gonna be probably here.
That's what I'm saying. That's okay though. So this seems
wanna
like it's
put
going
it-
to be a good show. But I think an A is where I land because
Okay.
it's masterfully crafted.
Ben, how we
it's
feeling?
how we feeling? Well,
Each episode
man.
is that's the thing too.
I'm sort of looking at this as an introductory episode too, and rating it
It's
that
tough,
way.
yeah.
It's an
It's a
established
killer intro. It's a
It is
killer
a
intro up.
killer ep. Only thing I think is somewhat weak about this episode is the ending.
Yeah, ending kind of leaves it open ended.
And Man Bat will be back. As
And
we
Man
know.
Bat, I mean spoilers. Yeah, Man Bat does return in 2 more episodes.
Because a lot of these episodes do end sort of abruptly. I think you'll come to
Yeah,
find.
But it does play to that anthology.
I am going to
type of
agree on an A
storytelling.
here because I think I want to keep S to be sort of a really sacred spot.
Yeah.
I am in that boat. I think this is definitely an A. This is like probably one of the best like pilot episodes of a show. I think, or at least an animated show.
I'm in.
In my opinion, it
It
is
got me.
a killer intro. It's a killer
Yeah,
hook.
that's what it's supposed to do. So
And it does it successfully. So there it is, guys. I guess that's our first rating. This is gonna be very bare bones until we get a few episodes in. But,
and it's going to be a massive tier list
it's
by
gonna
the
be
time
huge.
we're done with it.
it's gonna be huge. So there's that. And yeah, I guess is there anything that we
Well, we did have one
wanted
more
to go
little
over?
segment we wanted to do.
Yeah.
We wanted to rate each title card out of 10.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Title card out of 10.
because we love the title cards. And
I
think
get it.
Levi already has a.
I
is
just
into
got
them.
that. Hell yeah.
On face value, as just
On
an
face
image,
value.
which I'll show it again. We'll show it again here. We have it.
Well,
Right
I'll be honest. If
This
I
guy.
hadn't seen just now all the other ones,
Ooh,
which I didn't realize they were all.
I shouldn't have teased you.
I didn't realize they were all going to be different. I thought they were all going to be like this.
No,
No,
they are all
no,
have
they're
unique
all-
art style.
Which I was in for.
I actually need to find the artist who does these because
So I'm
we gotta
gonna have
credit
to. I'll settle. I'm gonna settle with an 8 out of 10 on this one because this one really it hits me and it's
Simple.
good and it got me interested. But it's simple. It's simple.
very
And I just saw all the color and the different things that they're gonna do in the future, and I didn't really look at them in depth. But I just know that because there's gonna be so much variation, this is a really great start. But this isn't like a 10 out of 10, you know. But god dang, when I saw it, I went, oh damn, look at this. I
he
went,
did.
whoa.
He
I
did.
was
He
like,
did.
I was
He
like,
did. Yeah.
whoa,
Oh,
look at
yeah. So
this.
little insight for everybody. We're gonna so the way we're recording this, we're gonna watch the episodes like right before, and then just like jump into this.
This is
Like,
fresh.
that's
This is all fresh for me, baby.
fresh. It was fresh,
and
baby.
if you're a viewer,
know how we
I
do it.
recommend going ahead and watching the episode before coming.
Yeah,
and watching
definitely
the
watch it
podcast.
alongside with us because it's gonna be
It's
fun.
a rewatch podcast.
That's
so.
that's true. That's true.
That being said, I'm gonna go at an 8.5 for On Leather Wings. A lot of them are really amazing. This one really speaks to me though because it gives me that like 40s black and white
Yeah, I mean,
cinema
look at
vibe
look at this picture.
going on
Come
there.
It's awesome.
I mean, like, and you show me that. I mean, I guess I could guess because it has a bat in the background, but I don't know if I would know that this is like a Batman intro if I didn't know, right?
It's fun because yeah, there's certain title cards that like, you know, you try to guess the villain and it's not always what you
I don't know
think.
what you think.
It's interesting.
Oh,
But,
I'm so excited to see like the Heart of Ice one. I don't remember what it looks like.
well, the
Oh,
Heart Ice
it's a
one is
good one.
goated.
Oh, I
that's a-
think I
that's
knew
a-
it's be so good.
that might be a 10 out of 10 one.
That's
but,
one that I have seen people. I know that episode.
Yeah.
because it's so
an,
famous.
an Emmy winning ep.
I think I have seen. Ice, like the
But for me,
cross.
I mean, I would probably put it the same. 8.5 sounds really good to me. This is like a very nostalgic title card. I mean, all of them are very nostalgic, but this is like the first. Yeah, I'd probably put it at 8.5. 8.5. Kind of. I feel like same rating as kind of the ep as well. At least in
yeah.
the terms
well,
of the grander scheme of the show. But anyways,
yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is our first episode, so let us know down below. What you think we can do better.
numero uno.
Any suggestions? But leave your thoughts on Leather Wings and thanks for watching. I think we'll have a dedicated Batman Animated Series podcast, some socials for you to follow. It should be up.
Mhm.
Um,
We'll put that.
It'll
We'll
be
put
up
that
in the
description.
screen. There's a Twitter account. There's an Instagram account alongside of the All New Nerd stuff. Definitely subscribe to the channel. And if you're here for the Batman, go and check out our other stuff because we talk about Star
We talk
Wars
about
a
other
lot.
stuff.
We talk about Marvel. We talk about
We
how
also do
bad
talk about
DC
Batman.
is. We
yeah,
talk about Batman. We talk about a lot of
It's tough
a
to
lot
cover
of,
DC
a
right
lot,
now.
lot
as
of
you know.
nerd culture if you couldn't tell from the
this
name.
was the most positive DC thing we've covered in like
That's
at
true.
least
I know.
3 months.
I know. Yeah, literally today at the time of this recording, it was announced that Cavill is no longer Superman. So
Okay, well,
it's a good day.
that's a different podcast. All right,
It's a different podcast.
thank you guys.
But
Thank
yeah,
you so much for watching,
thank you everybody for checking us
We'll see you
out,
next
and we will
time.
see you soon.
citizens of Gotham.
Citizens of Gotham.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.